Guys. So it's like I'm having I don't know what kind of moment this is I'm having right now. I got some peanuts. But I just finished my final for my drug action structure and therapeutics class, which is like our main, like that's the main class in pharmacy school where you learn all of the different, pharmacotherapies, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, all the therapeutics. You learn the medicinal chemistry, you learn all that stuff. It's the bread and butter of pharmacy school. And this is the class that I failed back during COVID. Like the first time I took it, I made an F. Second time I took it, I made a D. And I'm so hurt because this time I was taking it, like I got a high 70 on the first exam. I got a high A on the second exam. I got a high A on the third exam. And I've been studying this past week, and I just knew I was going to get another A. A high A. And I was like, man, it's going to be really nice to get an A in this course. But no, I did not get an A. On the final, I'm saying. I didn't make a B on the final. I made a C. And which brings my overall grade in the course to a B. Maybe a B plus. I didn't really do the math, but I'm a little disappointed because throughout this semester, I've learned what I want to do. But not what I want to do. I've learned what I do. What I do well, what I'm drawn to, what I am or who I am. And like the way that I think on a clinical level. I enjoy problems and cases and high level things and research and conceptualizing things, and basically I know that I want to do a residency. And if I don't do a residency, then I'm more than likely going to go into industry. But I really want to do a residency before I even, at minimum, a PGY1. And I'm thinking like ambulatory care. I'm thinking really ambulatory care. Hem-onc would be cool, but it's just so difficult and so competitive. And I don't even know if the lifestyle is worth it. I don't know much about hem-onc. I just know it's a huge demand for pharmacists. But anyway, to do a residency, you have to be like, let's just look at Chicago, for example. So Chicago the area has maybe 4 or 5 pharmacy schools. Probably more than that. I don't know. And that's just Chicago. We're not even talking about outside people that want to come to Chicago. So it's like these residencies, so you have to do a PGY1. That's basic. These PGY1s, they only have at the max 10 positions. So let's just say, I believe it's 7 residencies in the city, around the city. So let's just say it's 70 spots that you're competing for. Now, you got to throw in the other pharmacy schools. I don't know how large the classes are for these other pharmacy schools, but it's competition. And then you got the people that want to come to Chicago because Chicago is a top city. It's a top city in healthcare as well. Chicago has some of the most prestigious medical schools and clinics. Like you got Northwestern, you got Laurie's, you got University of Chicago, you got USC, you got Rush, you got Yola. And because I was a readmit to pharmacy school, meaning, initially when I went, I was in the retail mindset. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I already got a contract. I ain't gotta really worry about grades. Now that I actually know my purpose and know what I am to do, Now I'm looking back on that times and I'm looking at my GPA like, dang. Like, I don't think I can graduate with above a 3.5. Even if I get all A's, I can't finish above a 3.5. Which means that in order to even be taken seriously by these pharmacy residency boards and the people that make the decisions, my extracurriculars have to be absurd. Like my supporting information or my supporting documents or my supporting activities and things I've done, it's got to be just, no one can compete with me. Which means now I have to just take on, like, the workload that I'm about to have to take on these next 2 years. I'm not gonna complain about it because I want it. And I'm gonna be working at this workload for the rest of my life anyway, so why not go and get used to it, you know? I'm glad that I know how to deal with stress. I've been taught how to deal with stress, how to deal with loneliness, because I'm not finna have no time to do nothing but, like, my life for the next 2.5 years, really 2 years, has to be nothing but pharmacy. I ain't gonna have time to have friends. I ain't gonna have time to go out and do this. If I'm not doing this, I need to be working. If I'm not working, I need to be working on the business. If I'm not working on the business, I need to be trying to learn something. If I'm not doing that, I need to be trying to do some research. If I'm not doing that, I need to be networking or something. I almost feel that it's a less than 1% chance that I get accepted into residency. I'm gonna scratch that. I'm gonna say it's an 8% chance I get into a residency. But I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get a residency. The old me would say, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But the current me would say, God is how I'm gonna do it. I feel called to this. I feel drawn to this, which means it already exists in some facet, some form. Meaning that all I got to do is put in the effort, listen to what he tell me to do, and execute at a high level. After that, Lord, man. I see all the pieces lining up, but I don't know. My desire is to stay in Chicago. I want to do I want to do my PGY1 here. I already know where. I'm not gonna say though. I want to do my PGY2 here. I already know where. I'm not gonna say though. I'm working on relationships and meetings and jobs to get me to those levels. I know the research, the pharmaceutical company I want to work for. I'm already working on it. I know the business and what it's supposed to be and what it's going to do. I know everything about it. I'm already working on it. It's like I got the blueprint. Just got to put the effort in. So what is this video about? This video is about chasing your dreams. Because if you don't do it, who else gonna do it? These people ain't gonna just let you in and you ain't proved yourself. So it's time to prove myself and prove that I belong here. And then I'm gonna let God do the rest. Oh, man. Lord, please keep my mental straight.